The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. So in Indiana, there was a man by the name of Tyson Timms who was actually caught selling drugs and had to do time, pled guilty to it, etc. But he had no problem with that, but they actually seized his Land Rover. Now the Land Rover, he said, was valued at 4 times the amount of the maximum penalty that he would have had to pay for his crime. So this situation went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday in a way that would actually limit the ability of law enforcement to take on civil forfeitures and asset forfeitures. So basically, they ruled that the 8th Amendment protects us from these type of forfeitures, just so that these departments and all of that can gain money. So, there are a lot of criminals in the past that would have gotten their money back and would have been able to keep their money if it wasn't for these rules being set. But now they've been limited. So, that's a big salute for the people, man. War, Green, and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Maryland, there was an active duty Coast Guard lieutenant that was actually arrested because he was basically plotting to commit a terrorist attack and assassinate some popular liberal judges, politicians, and media people like your Cory Bookers, your Kamala Harris's, your Ocasio-Cortez's, Omar Hans, etc. And they found him with over 15 guns and at least 1,000 rounds of ammunition. So he was preparing to do some damage. The man admitted to being a white nationalist, wanting a white nation, and he was actually even quoted. I think he might have wrote something down that said he had dreams of killing almost everybody in the world. So I don't know what kind of Joker type shit is this, but lock him up and throw away the key. But more so, find out what the fuck made him that way. It's some strong connection between military and mass shootings. So, Chiefs report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting you know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So there's an Alabama woman by the name of Hoda Muthanna, who's actually the daughter of a Yemeni diplomat. She was born in Hackensack, New Jersey, back in '94. And currently she and her 18-month-old son are stuck in a refugee camp in Syria. So apparently this woman left Alabama because she became enamored with ISIS fighters. She married one, he was killed. Then she ended up marrying another one with whom she had a son. He was killed, and then she was married with another one. That's when she became disenchanted with ICE, with the Islamic State, and is now trying to come back to the U.S., but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Donald Trump are not having it. They actually said she is not welcome to come back to the U.S. So I don't know. I want to know people's thoughts on that. What y'all think? Welcome to graduation. This report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. Jussie Smollett, the gay dude from Empire, the one with the voice and all of that, he actually had to turn himself in today into Chicago PD for allegedly staging his own attack. Now, those who don't know have been under a rock the past few weeks. He actually claimed that he was found like beat up and hospitalized. He said that he was jumped and the people were suspected white supremacists because they yelled out, homophobic and racial slurs. Beating him, they put a noose around his neck, threw some chemical substance on him, which turned out to be bleach. And when the cameras actually showed who the people were, you saw their backs. He said that was definitely them, and then it turned out those people were people that he was actually acquaintances with, and one of them had even been hosted on Empire. So it became more suspicious, on top of him not even sharing his phone files. We'll see what happens. Dude was kind of brolic though. Why would you want them to beat your ass? I don't know. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Bernie Sanders, as I reported yesterday, is actually running for president now, and he actually raised about $6 million in the last couple of days. So salute to him. He said the average donation was $27. That's pretty. That just goes to show you how many people are supporting the man, and more power to him. I mean, I'm sure Killer Mike guys gonna have something to say about it. You might see him in the limelight for that reason soon, because he's already been doing his thing, these social experiments through the show Trigger Warning. So shout out to him, big salute. Bernie Sanders, I can't find, I like everything that he stands for. I just want to know what he got to say about this Israel situation, because we could very well find ourselves in a similar situation. You know what I'm saying? Under scrutiny of the powers that be. So we'll see what happens. See how this verse goes, man. Green War graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady let you know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So, the special counsel Robert Mueller, the pit bull that's been on Trump and Trump administration's asses, is the reason why all the tax evasion and money laundering and all of that shit has been coming to light, and motherfuckers been held accountable and facing life in jail. Not life, but spending their life, part of their lives in jail. Is actually wrapping up his probe on this Russia investigation and handing it over to the new Attorney General William Barr, who was hand-selected by Donald Trump, of course. Trump said out loud that he actually told William Barr it's up to him whether to keep the probe open or not. But we know Trump is a fucking liar, you know what I'm saying? And even with this Michael Whitaker situation, the Attorney General that might have come in actually got caught lying out there to Congress, saying that he didn't have a talk with Trump about the Michael Cohen situation. He actually did. So you can't believe what that man says. Congress already tried to pass a bill to make this open to the public. We'll see what happens. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So former Trump lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen is actually has gotten his jail time pushed back to 3 months from now because he's recovering from a surgery. With that said, he actually agreed to have a public hearing with Congress next Wednesday, and is essentially in front of the public, willing to be asked under oath about what's going on and his dealings with Donald Trump. So this should be entertaining to say the least. Will it change anything? We'll see. Stay tuned. I'm sure he knows a lot. Let's be real. When the FBI raided his house, they found all sorts of proof of Trump, having these dealings, owing people money, and that's how they found out that Trump actually had got Michael Cohen to give money to Stormy Daniels to quiet her down about their intercourse during his campaign. See what happens. Walgreen and graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Oakland, they're actually having a teacher strike. I'll stay talking to y'all about another teacher strike because motherfuckers is fed up. One of the most important job positions you can have in this country, and it's one of the most underpaid. Nevertheless, they are so the awakening is happening, and they're protesting in Oakland for higher pay, more reasonable class sizes, smaller class sizes, and more resources at the end of the day. So that's what's happening with that. I mean, they have to compete with like the increased cost of living over there in Cali, and it's happening in most busy, highly densely populated areas in the country. So we'll see what happens. Walgreen and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So as I told y'all earlier this week, they're actually, the U.S. and Syrian government, they're actually trying to get rid of ISIS, and what they're saying is the last stronghold of the city that ISIS has in the city of Baghuz. So right now they're evacuating civilians out of there, I guess, so they can probably run another series of bombs. But they always say that this is like the last ISIS area or whatever, but what they never account for is the fact that you could kill a bunch of so-called terrorists, and the people whoever survives from that, they kind of end up being terrorists. Not to mention whatever type of spin the motherfucking media puts on. So we'll see how this plays out, man. War, green, and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Now, ever since 2013, the coup that happened in Egypt that actually put in current president and U.S. supporter Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, there have been hundreds of executions and extrajudicial killings of people that are suspected to have been enemies of the state, essentially enemies of the new state. Let me explain. So yesterday there were actually 9 people executed for a 2015 car bombing. Actually killed the chief prosecutor's Isham Baraka, I believe his name is Isham Baraka. So it's and these people were actually tortured and coerced into admitting guilt to this, and then they were killed. Earlier this month, there were actually 6 people that were brought in for a killing that happened in 2013 and 2014. These people were executed in 2014. So I'll show you where it's at. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in South Sudan, thousands of civilians are being forcibly displaced, and there was a United Nations panel where they discussed how there are companies over there may be contributing to war crimes with oil-rich nations. So there's a lot of internal fighting going on, and it seeming like it's being perpetuated by a Chinese National Petroleum Company. Actually, that's the name of the company, the Chinese National Petroleum Company. There's a Malaysian oil company and a Malaysian and then an Indian natural gas company, and they're all like working in conjunction with the state-run oil company there by the name of NAVTEC. But it seems like these companies may be actually like funding and helping certain sides of the war, which is considered a war crime. And this is an oil-rich South Sudan. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. War Green and Red. Report of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. At least 80 people died from a fire in the capital city of Dhaka in Bangladesh. Now, the crazy thing about it is that there was a neighboring chemical company in this chemical warehouse, and the fire initially started there on the basement floor, and it caught on to the neighboring houses around there. Residents have said that they have been warning people. So, I bring this to light because at the end of the day, everybody all over the country is really tired of these motherfucking big corporations dictating what happens, and it just shows how little regard that they have for the people. So, everybody boss up and get their own, and be more socially conscious when it comes to building a business. So, signing out. Green, war, and graduation. Streets report of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So far in Mexico in 2019, there's been 4 radio hosts murdered. And 2 of these people actually were murdered within the past week. Reynaldo Lopez, rest in peace, and Samir Flores Soberanes, rest in peace. Now the thing about Samir, he actually was a known climate activist, and in this particular city, Morelos, I forget the name of the city in Mexico. I've never been personally, but in this particular city, there was actually a thermoelectric pipeline project being fought for in a referendum, meaning legislation was going to vote on it, was supposed to happen. And shortly before that referendum happened, he was murdered. So this is just to bring light to all of the true fighters and the freedom fighters out there and the freedom of speech writers out there. Imagine if somebody like Ebro or Charlemagne the God was murdered. So it's real heavy. War, Green, and graduation.